All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are talking about something really, really cool. It's called cyanotype. It's this amazing 19th century photographic process that's part chemistry, part art, and, you won't believe this, it's all powered by the sun. I mean, think about it. The whole idea here is to take a digital photo, something that just lives on your phone, and turn it into a physical piece of art that you can actually hold. It feels like magic, right? And all you need is some paper, two chemicals, and a little bit of sunshine.
So the mission here isn't just to make any old print. Nope, we're going on a quest. We want to level up from a basic test print, one that just proves, hey, the chemistry works, and create something genuinely beautiful.
And this right here shows you the challenge perfectly. On the left, that's where we start. It's a print, sure, but it's kind of blotchy. It proves the science is sound. But on the right, that's the goal. A super detailed, rich, gorgeous print that you'd actually be proud to hang on your wall. That's the quest for Prussian blue.
Okay, so how do we get from point A to point B? Well, like with pretty much anything, it all starts with the prep work. Getting your foundation just right is absolutely critical, and it really comes down to three main steps.
So here's the game plan. First up, you got to create a digital negative of your photo and print it on a clear sheet. Second, you need to pick the right paper. We're talking something thick and high quality that won't fall apart when it gets wet. And finally, the fun part. You mix up your two chemicals and paint this light-sensitive potion onto the paper. That's your canvas. Let's meet player number 1, ferric ammonium citrate, or FAC. This is our star player. It's the ingredient that's actually sensitive to sunlight. So when UV light from the sun hits this stuff, its iron chemistry literally changes. It gets an extra electron, and that little change sets everything else in motion. And here's its partner in crime, potassium ferrous cyanide. Now this one is different. It could not care less about sunlight. Its job is to just hang out and wait. It only springs into action when it meets the FAC that's already been changed by the sun. And when they finally get together, that's when you get that iconic, stunning Prussian blue color. All right, our paper is ready. Now we get to the heart of the whole experiment. And honestly, the biggest headache. We've got to get the exposure just right. This is basically a battle against the most unpredictable variable of all, the sun itself.
So while your paper is just sitting out there, this invisible chemical reaction is happening. Sunlight streams through the clear parts of your negative, zapping the FA on the paper and changing it. But wherever your negative is dark, it acts like a shield, and the chemical underneath stays exactly the same.
And then, the magic trick. You dunk the whole thing in a tray of water. All of a sudden, that changed FAC and the potassium ferrocyanide can finally mix. And bam, they create that insoluble Prussian blue pigment. That's your image, locked into the paper. All the unreacted chemicals, they just dissolve and wash right away. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. How long do you leave it in the sun? Is it 5 minutes? 10? An early attempt at 11 minutes was, well, a disaster. It got way too much sun, it was completely overexposed, and all the beautiful fine details were just totally blasted into oblivion.
So you might think, okay, I just need to find the one perfect time, right? Maybe it's 3 minutes on the dot. But the problem is the sun doesn't work like that. It's a moving target. Clouds roll in, the angle changes during the day. A time that's perfect at noon might be totally wrong at 3 p.m.
So the solution is just brilliant. You stop trying to guess and you start observing in real time. You put little test strips of the same paper right next to your main print. Then, every minute or two, you pull one out and develop it. They're like little spies, telling you exactly what's happening and when your print is perfectly cooked. But wait, there's another twist. Just when you think you've got it figured out, you realize the reaction isn't even consistent. It's not linear. Most of the chemical change happens in the first few minutes. After that, it really slows down. So doubling your time from 3 minutes to 6? Yeah, it does not double the darkness. It makes just winging it with a timer almost impossible. Okay, so we've kind of wrestled the whole timing problem to the ground. But what about the chemicals themselves? Does the recipe you start with actually matter? Oh, you better believe it does. Messing with the recipe can change everything. So check this out. We tried a bunch of different recipes. When we used less of the ferrocyanide, yeah, it exposed way faster, but the image got all fuzzy and bled everywhere. When we used more, it basically blocked the sun and nothing happened at all. It turns out that original, classic recipe, even though it's a bit slower, was the absolute best for getting sharp, amazing details. So really, it all boils down to this. A good recipe is a careful, balancing act. It's about finding that perfect sweet spot between getting a beautiful, detailed image and not having to wait all day for it to show up. All right, we have cracked the code. We've mastered the science to get that perfect blue print. But now, what if you don't want blue? This is where we stop being just scientists and start being painters. Let's talk about toning and how you can change the color of your print with stuff you probably have in your kitchen right now.
The whole thing is like a little 3-act play. In Act 1, you use a simple washing soda solution to bleach the blue away, turning it into a kind of brownish color. Act 2 is just a good rinse to stop that bleaching process in its tracks. And then for the grand finale in Act 3, you soak the print in something with a lot of tannins, like coffee or tea, and a whole new color emerges. And this is where you can just go wild and experiment. A bath in instant coffee? That'll give you a deep, rich brown. Green tea creates this incredible, almost black tone. Black tea gives you a dark color with this cool reddish hint to it. Oh, and here's a little pro tip. That bleaching step can sometimes fade the image a little. So if you know you're going to tone a print, it's a good idea to overexpose it just a tiny bit. But you know, what happens if you just break the rules? For one last wild experiment, an underexposed print was soaked directly in green tea. We skipped the bleaching step completely. After sitting overnight, something totally unexpected happened. It developed this unique reddish color that actually did a fantastic job of hiding the fact that it was underexposed in the first place.
So, when you step back and look at this whole journey, what did we really learn? First, that success is all about a delicate dance between your chemical recipe and the totally unpredictable sun. Second, that you have to stop guessing and start observing. Use those real-time tests. And finally, and maybe most importantly, that science isn't the enemy of art. It's an amazing tool that lets you understand the rules so you can figure out all the cool ways to break them.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. This whole process is about using light and chemistry to make a memory tangible. It makes you look at the thousands of photos on your phone a little differently, doesn't it? So what digital memory of yours would you choose to turn into a timeless, one-of-a-kind sunprint?